Okay guys, so I've just got the file open at the stage I showed you last week. So this is the Monavale project. So yeah, so we can modify these steps. Yeah, so just watch for a little while. And I've got the brief that a lot of people are working on from Decoration Studio 2, but these steps will apply to everyone. So what I wanted to show you first is how you can get resources from a file like this to use in Revit. And then we'll go further with the other core elements that you need to set up in that file. So I'm going to go to Edit PDF and then scroll down to find some of these image files. So I want probably most of these images because they'll be all very useful. No, you can't insert a PDF into Revit, so you need to change the format. And I'm going to do a few other things as well. So if you have something as a PDF, then you need to convert it into a JPEG or something like that. No, this is just in Acrobat Pro. So I should have pointed that out. It's really important if you're going to try this, getting something out of a PDF, that you are working with Acrobat Pro, not Acrobat Reader. And so there you can see when you find an image in Acrobat Pro, you can right click and go to edit using Adobe Photoshop. How good is that? And it'll open Photoshop for you.
I've never used Revit, so we don't have her on the PC.
Yeah, you do. You just might not be set to use it by default. So when you right click on a file, you can see there the default option might be Adobe Acrobat DC, which is Adobe Reader. If you go down here, oh no, sorry, that's Acrobat Pro, and then Adobe Reader is the other option there. So if you right click and you don't see Open with Adobe Acrobat DC, go down to Open with, and then you can choose Acrobat DC from there. It may be set to use Reader by default. And so once you've opened it with Pro, you'll see that you get this Tools button at the top, and then if you use that Edit PDF toolbar, just by clicking on it, you get the options that I've been working with.
So we use that to link the image in the PDF to the Photoshop?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just opens it in Photoshop. Yeah. Yeah, find a page that has an image on it, then right click. Yep, edit using down the bottom, and then you should see Adobe Photoshop. Yep. Okay, so now so that I can access this outside of the PDF, I'm going to go to Save As, and I'll save these so you can get to them as well. So I'm just saving them to the folder on the P drive. And CAD for interiors, and so we'll just put, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I can't open up anything I do here at home.
Is it Revit 2016?
I've got Revit 2015, but the only
You won't, yeah.
is 14 and 15.
No, you're going. That's because you're choosing Revit Architecture. You just need to choose Revit. So it'll just be Revit by itself, not Revit Architecture. When you go to download, I'll show you in a minute. It's there. Yep. Okay, so then I'm just going to repeat this process for all of these images. So again, really easy. Right click, edit using Photoshop. Because Photoshop's already open, it'll go straight into it instantly, and I can just save as any format I like. And so here again, JPEG is good enough for most things. Oh, I didn't save the other one as a JPEG. That was clever of me. So let's put it. It's on Monavale Road, isn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, so you might be able to use some of these for your backgrounds, but probably not, because you want views from the site rather than to it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find something. When you click on the image, I was just saying what do you do?
So to save them as a JPEG, you mean? Or yeah, just right click on it, on the image, and then go down to edit using at the bottom,
Okay,
and then Adobe Photoshop. Yeah. So. Yeah, so when you go to save as, you need to change it to JPEG.
I've done that, but is it progressive or based on customized?
Sorry, progressive shouldn't come up.
It's format options. Don't worry about it.
No, it shouldn't have that. So have you got the same here as what I've got? Is that what it's got?
It's just coming up with like a little options. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, that's the second page. Yeah, just click OK. Yep, that's fine. Just click OK. Yep. Yep. So view from interior to Monavale Road. Oh yeah, so here definitely format options. Just leave that on the defaults. That's fine. And so, because remember, you're not really going to be using these images for anything other than a reference that you can look at to see what's there. Oh, well, if you need to do a photo montage, probably need to go and take your own photos. I mean, you could use these as well, but what you're doing here will be good enough as well for that. If it's just a photo montage, you can just use that base setup. That's fine.
During 2 weeks, so we don't really have much time. Between the two like, the last one doesn't really like that.
That's what I was going to do.
Okay, so these images are mostly just going to be references, but it really will help a lot to have them as a different format. And where are we? So let's save this other one. And then, so I'll come back to that. We'll do that later. And I'll do these others later, or you can do them as well. But then the plan here is going to be useful in Revit. So I'm going to right-click on that and do the same thing, save it in Photoshop. But then I'm going to make a few adjustments here. Do you think those proportions are right?
No.
No, that's right. That's exactly right.
Because that's what Sean's had today.
Yeah.
And
No, it's not exactly, yeah. Okay, so what you can do there is just try going to transform, but you'll see then it's going to be greyed out if you go to the edit menu. So when that happens, do you know how to select things in Photoshop? Yeah, you can use your marquee, that's right, yeah. Well, you can just use the marquee. So here you've got the rectangular marquee, and you could just make a rectangle, or shortcut Control A. Control A will select all, and then you can adjust all of these things. But there's something else we need to do first. Do you know how to rotate the image to make it landscape? Sorry. Yeah. So easier. Just go to Image, and then Image Rotation, and then clockwise or anti-clockwise. So here, clockwise. And then again, Control A, It's a shortcut to select all. And then Control T will let you scale. So if you need to stretch, that will do it for you. Now the problem there is that we don't really have any other reference for the dimension this way. But if you need to use this for anything else you're doing, you probably would want to scale that. So remember those shortcuts. Control A to select all, Control T to transform, and that will be an easy way of just scaling it roughly. If you then go under the View menu and then turn on your rulers, you could try to get some guides there. So here I can see this one's at 4, roughly, and then bringing this across to here, that is 19. So that's about 15 across. So that's meant to be 11. And so that means, okay, just doing a quick calculation. Okay, so 11 is to 15 as, well, let's see what the other, so, well, 4. Okay, so it's going to be 15 divided by 11 is, whatever number that is, 1.3636, multiplied by 4.5 is the dimension the other way, gives us 6.1 roughly. So that's roughly what the other dimension should be going vertically. So if I bring a guide down this way, it's about right. And then, oops, don't want to do that. Got to change, there we go. So I'll just bring a guide down this way. And what did I say, 6.1? Okay, so there it's going from roughly 3 down to 10. So it's about 7. And it should be a little bit less. So again, Control T. And I'm going to just stretch that up a little bit. And I might even, before I do that, move my ruler. So the 6, so again it's on 3 there. And so we want that ruler to be roughly on 9. Don't worry, I'm going to save this for you so that you can just get this one that's scaled. And so again, Control T now, and I will just stretch that up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so that should be roughly the right proportions. It's still not going to be perfect, but a lot better than it was. There you can see it's trying to snap to the top. So you just need to watch out for that. If you zoom in, it'll make it easier. But even so, it might still snap. So, oh no, there we go. It's not too bad. There we go. So these are things you need to get used to when you get resources from various sources, and you will, in most design projects, get resources that have been created by other people, and you need to be capable of scaling those appropriately so that you can then utilise them. And so Photoshop's not a bad way. In the old days, you had to use photocopiers and you know, measure off drawings and try and work out how to scale them in different ways. Photoshop should just make that a bit easier. So I might just go back to View and hide my rulers again now and clear my guides. And then just crop that, and I'll save it for you. So all of that was recorded, obviously, if you want to have a go at that for your own projects. If you're doing something different, you should be able to just use those same steps. So ground floor plan. And so now I'm going to go into Revit and insert that so that I can use it as a resource. So I'm going to right click on ground floor plan in Revit, duplicate view, and then just use duplicate. So I've got ground floor copy 1. I'm going to right click on that new view and go to rename and call it ground floor with image. W for width. And then on the insert tab, you've got the option to insert an image. Okay, so I'll give you some time to try this in a minute, but I'll just get these steps done. And so I'm going to click on the image button there and go and find that file. And I'm just going to click to place it anywhere. You can see already it's not far off the right size as it is. But where I've put the building, it's covering up the image. But I just want to make it clear to you that I've still got the original ground floor plan that I can go back to when I want to see everything with the solid walls and the other things that I'd normally have. So in this view, I'm going to set it to wireframe and probably leave it like that. So now the floor's see-through, but the walls aren't. Because the walls are being cut, graphically they work a little bit differently. And a good trick there is to simply set this detail level to fine, which will also make things that are cut, like walls, see-through. So now I can easily move my image and line it up with my building. So I'm going to choose this corner here, and now I can see that the plan or the image that I've inserted is bigger than the building that I've drawn. Which one do you think's right? Exactly. The one I've drawn is drawn with measurements I've typed in. So that's right. The image needs to be scaled. And to do that, you've got a great tool in Revit, the scale tool. So my image is still selected. I'm going to click the scale button. And then all you need to do is pick it up on a point where you want to measure. Go to the point with the size of your image that you want scaled. So that's the point I want brought down to match what I've drawn in Revit. So I'm going to just bring that back now to the corner of my building. How easy is that? So now we can see that no matter what, the image is out, and it probably needs to be scaled a bit more, but it's still going to be a useful reference, mainly so I can get things like this in there, and also think about anything that I've missed. You can always just nudge it to line up a bit better as well. Doesn't need to be perfect. And probably even more importantly, we can use that to put in some of the site features later as well. So that's good enough for now. I'm simply going, you could also, if you want to, try turning off lock proportions and stretch it in more in one direction than another. So using the corners there, that'll also work. So you can, if you want to, stretch it out to match what you've drawn a bit better. And so you could do the same for the upper level. So, except no, you don't have a floor plan for the upper level, do you? No, so you'll have to just make that up, but that's all right. So anyhow, that's good enough. So it's really useful, that approach, and you can do the same with AutoCAD files. Yeah, and they don't need to be scaled usually. They'll be the right size automatically, generally. No, of course not. No, that's a very good way to do it. That's a great starting.